you doing, Matt? You alright?
Fantastic. How are you doing?
Well, I'm very well, I'm very well. First question I've got for you, it's a bit of a way back, not looking at this weekend. Your last fight was against a teammate of mine, Mr. John Maguire.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, that's my teammate. I was actually in the Tough 17 house while the fight happened. I still haven't seen the fight, so I don't know how it went. What do you think of the fight?
You know, John Maguire, he has one hell of a ground game. Great top control and really good takedowns, especially for no disrespect. English fighters don't have necessarily the best takedown abilities. His takedowns were that of a state champion or a national champion in the state. So I was very impressed with his takedown abilities, and the fight went well for me. You know, I kept the distance, used my jab, and he actually got my leg at one point. He was about to take me down, and I hit like a spinning mule kick off the cage. It was probably the highlight of the fight, but. John Maguire's one tough nut because it didn't even faze him. I cracked him as hard as I could, and he was like, literally had this face like, whatever. Like, he's a tough dude. He's a tough dude.
Well, he's now, I think the fight with you's inspired him to drop weight class.
Because
he's thinking about it right now because you're obviously quite a big welterweight.
Yeah, I'm a big welterweight, but he was surprisingly strong because I knew I would have the size advantage, but he was a very strong welterweight, and I thought he was going back up to middleweight after the fight. And I was like, Jesus, he's crazy. But I'll tell you this, John Maguire at 55 is a threat to everybody because he's too big, too strong, and his jiu-jitsu is top-notch, man.
All right, I appreciate that. He's my jiu-jitsu coach, gypsy jiu-jitsu and all that sort of stuff.
Pink belt.
So you said, you know, you don't really rate the English wrestling over here. You know, why do you think we were a bit behind with the wrestling? What would you have to say about that?
You know, you guys don't have it in the high schools, and I think that's like the number one thing in America. It's in the high schools, and you know, and it's just what it is. There's kids that start wrestling at 3. You know, I didn't start wrestling until I was about 14 years old, but you think about it, the first day you start wrestling at 14, you're going with a bunch of kids that have been wrestling for 10 years already. You pick it up pretty quick. While here, you know, I notice you guys fly people in. You'll bring good wrestlers in or even have talented wrestlers, but it's hard just to have one outlook from one wrestler. Like, I could only teach somebody so much because I wrestle my style. But if you have 30 wrestlers that are all state champions and you wrestle with that group of people for like 2 months, you'll be nasty at wrestling. It's just what happens. So honestly, I think, you know, maybe go to Pennsylvania or maybe just fly out a couple more wrestlers. You guys will pick it up quick. And, you know, I think the one other thing is you guys like pro wrestling just as much as I do. You know, and that was my problem. That's why I actually started wrestling in high school. I was like, look at these suplexes and shit. I want to do this. And then I went to the high school practice, and they're all wearing singlets and shit. I'm like, what's this shit, you know? But, you know, I kept doing it. I got better at it, and now I know how to do the real wrestling and the pro wrestling. I got a nice figure 4 leg lock, and, you know, I try to keep it exciting.
Well, that's actually how the Maguire brothers started wrestling. Is they watched the pro wrestling, they loved it,
I could tell.
They practiced on each other, and I think we like swanton bomb each other in the gym every now and then. So you know, it's quite cool. So thank you very much. I'm gonna have to wrap it up there. Thank you very much, Riddle.
Thank you, man. Take care.
It's Luke here for MMA Plus from Tough 17. Thanks a lot to Matt Riddle, and I hope he has a good fight of the weekend, and we're looking for fight of the night.
Yes, thank you, man.
Cheers.